Okay, we are live.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NAGLREP Success, a podcast series featuring the talents of the LGBT real estate professionals and allies who inspire the LGBT community. I'm your host, David Cerroti. This is a very important and timely edition as we look at the current state of the LGBT community and where the real estate industry fits in. Our guest is one of the most important and well-known LGBT business experts. He's a friend of ours from the NGLCC, the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, our friend, Jonathan Lovitz. Jonathan, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be with you. This isn't nearly as fun as the pool parties at the conference in Palm Springs, but glad to be with you for an important conversation.
Well, normally we would banter a little bit, but I think with the times that we're in and the
Indeed
of our discussion, let's get right into it. You've been on the phone, on calls like this with the LGBT business community and the entirety of the community, not just the business side of it. How are you seeing businesses within the LGBT space comparing to those other businesses as well?
You know, as we always said, as we at the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, as the business voice of the community, we have the real privilege of representing LGBT-owned businesses of every size, of every shape, from every community, from every generation across this country. Universally, we are scared, but we are strong. We've been through economic downturns before. This is certainly unprecedented in shape and scale, but also it is bringing out the absolute best in the community, as hardship so often does. We have seen business owners contribute unprecedented numbers of supplies and resources to help with the relief efforts all over the country, while also just trying to keep their lights on and their staff supported. We've seen our local chambers of commerce, of which so many NAGLREP members are also affiliated members, jump into the fray, while most other nonprofits are looking for ways to shore up staff and the services they provide. These business organizations have been on the front lines coordinating small business owners and the opportunities that cities and states have for both relief and recovery, but also ways to help. So something that is just inherent in the way LGBT people and LGBT businesses in particular work is that we run toward the fire when we know people are in danger, and that is certainly happening here. We're seeing also a tremendous sharing of concern. The amount of people including local affiliate chambers. Recently, the NGLCC hosted a national call with over 800 business owners, affiliate chamber leaders, and others, along with the Small Business Administration, to help pass along their resources for recovery and relief for business owners. So there is so much happening right now. Of course, we're also taking lots of time to just check in with one another. Business owners, and I think certainly people in real estate know this better than anyone else, our relationships in business are deeply personal. We are in people's homes. We meet their families when we connect them. So an extra level of care and concern that we can all be providing right now is checking in with clients new and old, just to continue being there for one another, which I think we can delve more deeply into.
Are you seeing, is there a natural bond that's taking place within the LGBT community of protecting, quote unquote, our own right now that may not be happening elsewhere?
Well, remember, what's so special about the LGBT community is our own is everyone. We are women, we are people of color, we have disabilities, we are veterans, we are immigrants, we are all communities, and all communities are affected by this. You know, we learned the lessons, and you've seen some great LGBTQ thinkers out there writing about what we've learned from the HIV, AIDS, and other historic fights that faced our community, and how we can share those lessons with other communities about understanding that just because a community is more visible when under attack doesn't mean others are not being harmed. So the real awareness and that sense of coming together and camaraderie between communities, between professions, everyone realizing, we all talk about being in this together, but there is a moment happening now where that is tangibly and tactically true, where the sharing of resources doesn't begin or end with any one community. We've been sharing webinars on the NGLCC page by business owners for business owners, by corporations for business owners, by other minority groups for the LGBT community, because we realize we just need to help amplify one another all the time. So because we are a part of every community, we're also uniquely able to serve and help others.
And you talk about NAGLREP members and other businesses using this time to almost retool their business. And from your unique perspective, being at such a prominent level economically and seeing things happen, where are the opportunities for real estate professionals today that we may not inherently know?
Obviously, while the market feels like it has paused, people are still thinking about what's next. And what's incredible, what's happening now is the use of technology, the use of digital resources to be able to help keep businesses flowing, to keep connections happening. And that's one of the things that I advise all NAGLREP members to think about is, what can you do during this time to refocus and reshape the scope of your business to, one, help others and build that strong network of goodwill and support in your community, but also in our LGBT family, how can we help pay that forward by supporting others who are in crisis right now, and in a way that helps spread wealth and resources through the community when we need it most. So for example, I've spoken to so many real estate professionals who said because of lockdowns and social distancing rules, they can't do showings. Well, if you're going by yourself, there are countless websites out there that let you post 3D virtual tours, that let you put up a YouTube video, that let you talk to people about some of the opportunities that you may have available in the future. This will be a buyer's market when this is over, as prices likely will fall, but also the need for relocation. So many folks, whether they lost a job, changed jobs, are thinking about changing jobs, want to move to a place where they think they might be more successful in the next iteration, are going to look to real estate professionals for guidance. And so what are we doing in the meantime to proactively reach out to our communities through our local LGBT chambers to support people in need? Do you have, we're talking a lot about supporting local businesses and restaurants through buying gift cards so that they have cash on hand now and you can use that later. Well, if you have a go-to that has always supplied the coffee and muffins for your showings in your office, and you can buy that gift card now, help keep that business owner afloat, and I guarantee you it'll come back twofold in terms of support and enthusiasm on the other side. Plus, you're a part of that ripple effect of you help them, they can help others, and it all comes back around to helping your firm and your agency and our community do better. So it's thinking, as we talked about at the conference, thinking holistically about your supply chain. We're hearing so much about supply chains right now, about who has what and how we get it where. Think locally. Is there someone in your local community who's doing grocery delivery? Do you have we're seeing, we just heard a great story of a certified LGBT-owned staffing company, which in the absence of doing big national corporate events right now, is working with grocery stores and retailers to use their staff to do delivery for people who can't leave their homes in a safe way. So there's ideas out there for how you can amplify what you're already doing as a business in a way that gets you out there, helps others, and ensures that we all stay safe.
And you previously identified from even being outside real estate, relocation. You're going to see people who, whether they're downsized,
right,
but put on furlough, they may say, enough of a higher priced community, we're going to move. You talked about people who are going to downsize now. They don't need to spend the exorbitant mortgage. So there's opportunities. Refinancing, how we can help past clients. The commercial side, companies in the LGBT space are going to recognize maybe they can have some employees work remote. They can shrink their presence. There's others.
Right.
So you see the value in real estate professionals. How does the LGBT business community view our members today? Is there a value?
You know, right now, I think while the ground is still settling, there's still a bit of an uneasy feeling of just what is out there. So because you see so many, every corporation now has a COVID landing page. Every government agency has best tips and offerings. Every one of our local affiliate chambers, many of your local offices for NAGLREP are doing the same, just listing local resources. That is one of the best things that particularly real estate professionals can do, is leveraging their existing ecosystem, whether it's the local LGBT chamber, the local NAGLREP chamber, the local the Chamber of Commerce of which you're a part of just as a real estate broker, letting people know what you have available. You know, you made a great point, David, about real estate agents are also experts in everyday useful skills that people are going to need. They are expert marketers, they're expert connectors, they're expert financiers, or know people who are expert financiers. People are overwhelmed with a number of questions they didn't know the answer to right now. So just putting yourself out there as a connector is one of the most valuable things that we can do. And particularly in the real estate profession, as we talked about, these are some of the most intimate relationships people have. You spend so much time in your home, in other homes and offices, you know, chatting in the car at off hours. People have a bond with those who help them find a place to live. So that same kind of bond and that personal connection can also be so useful in helping people say, what are you hearing in your community? Oh, I know someone who knows someone that can help. Just offering to help right now is a big incentive for people, is a big important thing for people to be doing. And through your local chambers, through your personal websites, even just through your Facebook or social media, advertising what you have available to offer people and saying, I also don't know what I can do for you. Let me know what you need. Let's pool our resources. That's something that's really beautiful right now. And you know, I was mentioning that several businesses, particularly those that were already working from home, know how to make use of their space in the small business world. So they're already thinking about pivots and ways to keep busy right now. For example, we have an Orlando-based certified consulting company that converted their kitchen table that used to be their primary office space to being a place where they've got 4 sewing machines set up, and they're knocking out hundreds of masks to give to people in local communities so that they can shop and go to the drugstore. So even little things like that are just powerful statements that you're not letting this get us or our community down, and we'll use whatever we have to keep others safe and secure. And the important thing is, when we're all back on our feet, we think proactively and strategically about where we're going to spend our money on the other side, that we do invest back in our communities through the use of an LGBT realtor, an LGBT mover, an LGBT trucker, all of those things, so that that money trickles down through all of their staff and all of their supply chain.
And you believe our members, you've said it before, they're sitting on a gold mine of information that they may not think is a real treasure trove. Should we be reaching out to our NGLCC leadership in our communities and offer, what are we offering them right now?
Sure. Well, you know, I'm going to share an article with you that hopefully we can share in the Facebook group with this conversation, about a piece that we wrote in The Advocate about helping the LGBT community stay fiscally strong during this crisis. And one of the things that we talked about is exactly that, the treasure trove of information that we're sitting on, but also this period of time that we have where we're thinking about what to do to keep our business going, but also how to keep ourselves thinking straight about what we need to do next. Well, use this time to, if you've got all of those resources, or you're thinking about starting your own venture, or you've never gotten around to building that website for your business, for your real estate company that you've always thought that you needed, do it now. There are hundreds of certified LGBT-owned website builders who do Fortune 500s all the way down to local nonprofits, who would gladly work at a steep discount to help you, the business owner, stay afloat while helping them get more work. Do you need to write that amazing copy for the one pager you're going to hand out when you can start doing showings again? Do you need to start thinking about some of your furniture or coffee or other things that you used to source from overseas that you may now be able to source locally for cheaper for the US to keep our supply chain strong? There are so many things that you could do now in this period to grow and build your own business by thinking holistically about how you engage the LGBT community to do that.
Could I do a webinar for the local NGLCC chapter on real estate stuff?
That's a great idea. So both us nationally, the NGLCC, as well as many of our local affiliates are seeking webinar content. They're looking for programs to push out, whether conducted by them or by you, that they can invite people to. People are hungry for content. They're hungry for new ideas. And frankly, even among just the real estate community, you're all such a great, it's a referral business. You're all such a great referral network to one another and to stakeholders across the country. Host a Zoom cocktail hour and just catch up with one another. It's good for the soul and maybe good for the business.
And you have, it's funny that you talk about connecting, but we don't realize sometimes, because we're going so fast, plumbers, carpet people, furniture makers, all these different people are out there and they're an instant source of referrals, but we haven't had the time before to make those connections. What should I do? How do I work through the NGLCC infrastructure to start making the networking?
Sure, that's a great question. Well, every local affiliate chamber's website has a business directory. So whether you're looking in Minnesota, San Francisco, Miami, or anywhere in between at our 60 plus affiliates, all of which you can find at NGLCC.org, you'll see an affiliates tab on the website. Find your closest one, get involved. They're eager to have you, and they really wanted to help you connect and share what you have to connect with others. But you made such a great point, David. You know, some of the industries that will be affected by this economic change in such a different way are manual labor trades. The carpenters, the house builders, the furniture builders, the decorators, the people who you cannot outsource, who you cannot do virtually, whose work cannot be done virtually. There will always be an essential place for them, and it's our obligation to make sure we're keeping work alive for them. So again, to that point about what are you doing now to plan ahead, are you talking to those that you usually furnish your houses with when you're doing showings? Have you spoken to them about what they're doing right now and how maybe you can show them off on your team website as a go-to provider for when we all come back to work? Start front-loading them with opportunities now for when the turnaround does come. We need to be giving whatever we can to one another to ensure we make it through this moment.
The other day, you had an unbelievable call with the SBA about the $2 trillion relief bill. And obviously, NAR has been posting a lot of information. You have it on the NGLCC website. What came out of that call that surprised you more than just people filling out a form to get money?
You know, it is, as the eternal optimist that I am and the seeker of silver linings anywhere, I think, frankly, and I know our president has spoken about this many times, our NGLCC president, about the takeaway from that call that's perhaps most important to us was just the feeling of some semblance of connection and camaraderie and opportunity among our community. To be able to bring 800 people together just so we could all learn something together and then follow up over email and text and just say, great to hear your voice on the call, thank you. People are so eager for this human connection right now. And I think, again, as real estate professionals, you have some of the most intimate relationships with people out there. Use that to your advantage. Be that bridge that they need through this time. You know, we talk about it all the time in the LGBT business community. A lot of you heard it when I was in Palm Springs that, you know, our buying power is nothing to sneeze at. It's $917 billion. And perhaps most importantly, underneath that figure is our loyalty to those who have our back, to the corporations who see us and hire us, to our fellow LGBT business owners who seek out ways to give back to the community. So while our dollars are going to be all the more precious now and on the other side of this crisis, we are going to be looking at those who helped. And so you as a business owner, it's both a moral and economic imperative that you be out there helping. It will benefit you on the other side.
Where do I go to get the information on your website to find it?
Great. So NGLCC.org/COVID-19 is an massive and daily updated resource page filled with links to all of the SBA resources that we talked about. Special offers from corporations that we're working with who could be really beneficial for folks. For example, we have so many small businesses who rely on logistics and shipping to get their products out. UPS is one of many companies who's offering free or discounted shipping and programmatic rates for business owners to help them stay included in the supply chain. Little things like that are out there. We've got a certified company who's an expert in Microsoft's tools for businesses. They're online offering free classes. Dell is offering discounts on technology and laptops for those who have to work from home and build up a new small business team. And that is one out of 100 resources that we've got listed and that we link to with all of our other partners. So check there. It's the first thing you'll see on the NGLCC page. You'll also see the link to the affiliates tab to get involved with all of our partners around the country who are doing this work, boots on the ground in your local community. It is the best investment for a NAGLREP member to do, is to also get involved in their local chamber. People are seeking out their family, both literal and chosen, to be able to support and be supportive of during this time.
And I know you've seen as much as I have with the members that it's a go, go, go business, real estate. You're going from deal to deal to deal. But you brought in a new term, that value add. What does that really mean, value add?
Well, you know, it's at the heart of so much of what we do in that supplier diversity concept of why it's so important for LGBT or other minority businesses to be certified, because when you're competing on merit to win work, as we all will during and after this crisis, a value add from our diverse background, from having that certification, says working with me as a direct investment in a minority community, it is a building of next generation income and wealth that we pay forward to others. Additionally, the value add in being able to talk about how you've helped. I certainly would prefer, just thinking about the local companies I'm ordering takeout from here at home over the course of a week. I think I look for the ones who are advertising. We're giving 5-10% to X organization. We're donating 100 meals a week to the hospital. Because I want to reward those who are doing the right thing. And I think we're all in the position, particularly those of us who have some savings and who have some privilege to be able to pay it forward during this time. And even those who are able to receive some of the recovery relief benefits, being able to put that out there in a way that keeps people employed and keeps people safe and sane is really important.
So that pay it forward is a form of what's called cause marketing.
Yes.
How do you give, but also benefit from that giving? Do that as an agent today.
Yeah, it's it's all storytelling. And NAGLREP does a beautiful job both with this podcast, with some of your video clip series that you send. We all have possibly one of the most powerful tools for digital communication in our hand, and that's the iPhone, or whatever phone you have. Get on it and record a video telling the people who you are, what you're doing, what you care about, how you're helping, and how they can reach you if they have ideas. Be out there. And even if you're just saying, I'm a real estate professional and I'm sure you're not buying a house right now, but I know lots of people with resources to help you. Or I work with a bank that I traditionally go to a bank for loans and credit resources for my buyers, and that bank happens to be a preferred SBA loan lender. Can I help you get connected to them and learn how they can help your business? Just be that on and off ramp for people right now, and I promise they won't forget how you made them feel. And you won't forget how good it made you feel.
Today's call was just so important because of what we said at the top, is your perspective on the American economy and so many small business owners and operators and what you're seeing. We thought it was so important to get you on this call today. We know you have a lot of other calls to do today. I'm going to put you on the spot because I know you can't wait for Palm Springs either. We going to be able to go?
I hope so. I think in all things, we hope for the best, we plan for the worst, and we get ready for every contingency in between. You know, the other thing to remember, and that's another thing to consider for everyone watching is, you all do meetings, you all do events. I'm sure you're all so tired of 50 Zoom calls a day, but there's some really creative solutions out there. We're working with companies like American Meetings Inc. and others who do virtual trade shows, who do these incredible virtual reality programs that make you feel like from your office desk, you're in Palm Springs at that conference. And I sure hope we are there in person. But if we can't be, or if you need to be doing programming now, there's solutions out there that do put those dollars right back into the LGBT community's hands.
Well, hopefully you as a leader, you can wave your magic wand, end this crisis and get us to the warmth of Palm Springs. Jonathan, thank you so much for taking time today.
It's a pleasure, it's a privilege, and to everyone out there, know the NGLCC is here to be your resource. We are the business voice of the community, but our voice only works when we can amplify and echo everything you're all doing. So keep up the great work. Find us, reach out to us at nglcc.org, and know that we're proud to be supporters of NAGLREP. Thank you.
You're the best, and until next time, I've been your host, David Cerroti, for NAGLREP Success.